American, where most of my clients lived in the projects, had very little options, both emotionally, certainly financially, but I really admire what you're doing. I've been down at Occupy Wall Street, but I want to know, like, you now have the luxury as young people, and I admire you tremendously, but there are people who have a lot of responsibilities now for families. I mean, it's very nice that, you know, you're doing amazing things, and you have spread an idea and a movement and a challenge faster than ever happened, you know, in the activist movement for a long time, and it's very admirable. But a lot of the theory doesn't help. What do you do for all the starving families, and you know, in the United States and in the world? So there has to be, beyond words and idealism and a tremendous sense of goodwill toward others, what is, you know, in terms of what you're doing, is still a small cadre of people who have the luxury of doing it. But a lot of families, both, you know, poor and even now middle class, that are sinking at an alarming rate, don't have the luxury of this beautiful thing that you're doing, because they're really fighting to survive. I'm not saying that you're doing it with a lot of money, you're doing it with no money, but you don't have the responsibilities often of children. And so how do you create your idealism to what's real about getting the world better for people who have different necessities of life that you do at the moment?
I'll jump in, because I'm really, really glad you asked that question, because that is really the biggest motivating factor for me right now is, you know, I mean, I'm a young person, and I'm a grad student, I have spare time, but, you know, most of the work that I've done in activism is with immigrants, mostly sweatshop workers, and other workers, some with unions and also not in unions. And, you know, the fact of the matter is, right, like, if you have a child or you are undocumented, you can't necessarily risk sleeping in a park where you might get arrested. You know, like if you're undocumented, you could be deported, you know, or even if you have documents, you can still get deported.